I'm Kevin Klein. Let's talk Winnipeg about the media. Now, you know, or maybe you don't, that I spent the majority of my private career in the media. I was the Chief Executive Officer with Sun Media. I have been a publisher of newspapers. I was once one of the youngest publishers in Canada. I've worked for MTS. I've worked for Moffat Communications. Remember Moffat? It's a Winnipeg company, but I worked for them in a different part of the country. I worked for Seven, another Winnipeg family. Anyways, I understand the media business. It has been very good to me. And I have a lot of close and dear friends in the media and many great memories. I owe my life to the media. But recently, a motion came forward at City Council, and I was troubled by this motion because I saw it as nothing more than political posturing. They wanted to send a letter to the federal government to say they wanted to support future legislation to give money to the media or support the media. It's much watered down than what a lot of other jurisdictions have put through. And not a lot, but what some jurisdictions have put through. It frustrated me because it's interesting, right? This tells you how collaborative this group of city councillors really are. Because you'd think as adults and as people that care about the city, that we would talk together, use everybody's skills and talents. Not one person. Not one. Well, that's not true. I'll tell you in a second. Came to me to ask me about the how media survives or how it's done in the past and what I thought about federal funding for private enterprise, being the media. Not one. Someone did come to me and say that there was talk and a hope that I would move the motion myself given my history in the media. And I said, no, not at all. Do you want to talk about it? No. So it came to council. It passed. But here's what I said to my colleagues.
Thank you, Mr. Deputy Speaker. It's no secret I spent 95% of my private life in the media, working on several different platforms, all the media platforms, quite frankly. I took a look at this motion, and it's a very watered-down letter from what other jurisdictions are doing, so it really did lead me to ask why we're even bothering to get involved with another government's agenda and why we're pushing to have money spent by a different level of government. I have a lot of friends in the media. I grew up in the media. I owe a lot to the media. I owe a lot to the people that supported the media. And they supported the media by buying the products and by advertising in the products. And I feel bad when I see what has happened to the media. And I feel bad when I hear people talking about the crisis that is happening to the media. But I was a part of it. There are reasons why, and there are ways to fix it. Just writing a check is not always the answer. Why would we just write this letter? What is the benefit of us writing this letter? I mean, there's more to this problem. I'm very fortunate to have been one of the youngest publishers in Canada. And it takes a lot of work to be in that business. And you face a lot of very interesting issues. But one of the things that we learned, and I learned very quickly, is that you need to be involved in the community, and the community needs to be involved in you for you to be successful. What do we say to the restaurants, hotels, corner stores, the locally owned clothing stores that are suffering? What do we say to them? Are we going to write letters for everybody? And I'm not trying to make light of this. I'm sure you thought I was the first one that would stand up and be behind this. We have major problems facing our city. I don't need to go through the list again. I can. I don't think we need to. If you look at a lot of the media properties across Canada right now, most of them are owned by major telecom companies, none of which are having financial hardship. But they division properties out. That's how you do business. Surely you would understand that. So of course they can make a property look like it's losing money if they want to. Giving money again This letter, it's not the answer. Maybe we should be sending a letter to actually fix the root of the problem. Fix the root of the problem, which is the internet, using licensed material on the internet illegally. Australia did it. Now other countries are following them. That is fixing the problem. That is teaching somebody to fish instead of giving them a fish. If you truly want to help the media, and you're not doing this just to make sure we don't look bad in front of them, and I think they have much more integrity than that, then buy ads. I don't see the city advertising on every local media. I think we're very selective. And it's been that way for years. Support local. Buy ads on every local media property because they would appreciate that. Buy ads in all the local newspapers. They would appreciate that. On all the local radio stations. They would appreciate it. Look, we talk about supporting local. We talk about one taxpayer. We talked about it today. We only have one taxpayer. Yes. And that's not our lane. That's the federal lane. And they need to deal with it. They need to address the illegal use of copyright material. They have to. If they choose not to, that's on them, and voters can decide how to deal with that. That's not our place. Our place, let's help them. Book an ad. Run an ad. Show them that we're supporting them. Show them that we're not just going to put money with one or two media companies. One or two big media companies that are owned by large telecom companies. That we're going to put our ad with a locally owned Winnipeg company. That's where I would prefer to see this. I'm not going to support this letter. This letter is, I'm sorry, it's very watered down. It doesn't do what we think it's going to do. To me, this is pure politics. If I was back in the media, I would be writing negatively about this. I don't see how this is helping. It helps by encouraging business people to run local ads. It helps by encouraging and giving the media the information they need, not making them pay tens of thousands of dollars to FIPA everything, making their life more difficult. Because that's what we've done as governments. We've made it difficult. We've made it hard to be a reporter. We've made it hard to get information. Let's make their job easier. Let's do that. Let's start focusing on the federal government and the MPs that are in this city and say, you have to protect the rights of writers. You have to protect copyright information. Just because it's on the internet doesn't mean you can't protect it. Unfortunately, we're in a time when everybody believes what they read on the internet unless it ends in LOL. Information is valuable. We can respect our local reporters by supporting them. Buy an ad. Make their job easier. Subscribe to the newspaper. If we subscribe to one paper and we all share it, that's not helping. Everybody subscribe to one. That's supporting local media.
So how do we get them back to where they were? How do we support this private enterprise? Well, just like you support restaurants or a privately owned clothing store or a local gym. You buy from them. So buy an ad. Buy a subscription. Take the time to power down and pick up a paper. Find out the whole story. Journalism and journalists should be just putting out the facts. There are those that will put opinion pieces, but we just want the facts. That's how we support journalism, and that's how we support private enterprise. So look, no, I'm not going to send a letter to the Prime Minister telling him to give money to anybody. We have one taxpayer. You and I mean, it's all our money. So I'm not going to do that. But I am going to tell all my friends, colleagues, anybody I see, support local media. Support local business. What do you think? That's really what's important. You can call me at 204-986-5232 or email me, kevin@kevinklein.ca.